on a field trip today.
Yes.
We're going to go to outer space.
You know, casually.
We're going to see Project Hail Mary.
Hail Mary. He's already seen it.
Yes.
I have not, and it'll be my first time.
I cannot wait for you to see it. It does deal with practical effects.
I do like practical effects.
And even some puppeteering.
I love puppeteering. And that's extra cool. He really, really likes this movie. Like, it's on par with what he grew up with.
Yeah. We are blessed enough to be able to see this movie
in IMAX
70 millimeter on film, which one of 10 theaters in the entire world that can show it in this format.
And that's very important to him.
Yes. It's important for nerds. Anyway.
I am not that type of nerd, but we will enjoy the movie nonetheless.
Highly recommended.
I'll see if I recommend it afterwards.
Let's go to space.
Bye.
We just got out of
Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary. That was really nice. People were human, and it was just...
What do you know?
You can mess around and fiddle with stuff, and basic understanding of another person's culture. It's really cool. And
yeah, what do you know?
I love that movie.
People have souls, and even the alien is kind of
human too. Yeah. So. Obviously, this is going to be spoilers, so.
All right.
I like it that the alien Rocky kind of taught him how to be human, because he was so detached from everyone on Earth.
Right.
So he needed someone off Earth to tell him, hey, be a human being.
Empathy training.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing it with you and just enjoying your reaction to it.
I was giggling a lot.
It's because it's funny. It's funny and it's dramatic and it's sweet.
Yeah.
And it's kind. You know, there's no real bad guy.
I mean, the environment is kind of...
Right.
The environment is the bad guy.
Man against environment, or, man against self, all the rest of that stuff. What is it that you said when you were walking out?
It's been a while since I've gone to a movie theater and seen a new movie where I felt better walking out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel better walking out of that movie.
And movies used to do that.
Yeah.
Harkening back.
Yeah.
Well, I was spoiled rotten when I grew up because this was constant. I mean, we had years where there were just massive hits that were good and made you feel better.
And I haven't experienced that really as much. So this was like I came above the surface of the water a bit.
Beyond just our admiration for it, we're just really grateful that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller were fired from Solo, the Star Wars story, because they got to make this instead. It was actually, yeah, it was a bad thing that happened to them that resulted in a great thing that just happened to us and to them, because they are geeks at heart, but they're also geeks with heart because they care about people, you can tell.
Yeah.
But they're also funny. And they're ridiculous.
That movie was had a lot of humor.
What was great about it is that people weren't perfect.
Yes, I think that was the best part. Every single person had a flaw. I especially love that they even made the alien, who is like the most human and enjoyable character to be around, be the most annoying little...
But what was cool about it is that, you overplay that too much and he can be irritating, but it was just the right balance. Because I've seen ones where they humanize a non-human character and then they just go way overboard into the forced cute, but this one was like nerd excited about things, and so it felt natural to who he was as a character instead of just I don't know. And can we talk about the guy who did the puppetry on that? He was the same guy who did when they were choosing the voices, they settled on his voice, so the animator, the puppeteer, that's his voice and him doing the character.
That's so fun.
It's just great. What I love about it personally is how, yes, it's a science movie, but it's also very spiritual because you're dealing with the highest stakes that you can get. The world ending, your personal life ending, and then working towards something that's for other people beyond yourself. It's a goal that's higher and nobler than you. You've got to come to terms with that.
Yeah. I like that he actually was writing down like what makes me me, that kind of stuff. It's just like, who am I? What do I choose? What kind of person do I choose to be? It's like, they didn't have to do that, but they did, and it just elevated it so much. I love that at the end he was given a choice as to whether or not he could leave.
Yeah.
That it was just that bit more human, that he was able to have a choice, you know?
Yeah. This movie had a soul. It respected every single person who was part of it, and that is too exceedingly rare for movies these days. You want to know why this resonates? It's because it addresses the fact that you and I are people. We matter. We're flawed. We make mistakes. We stumble. We are ridiculous. We
care about each other.
We want to figure things out. We want to use our intelligence. We want to use our wisdom. We want to fail and try again.
We want to work together.
Yeah.
We want to like put our efforts forward for somebody else, or else like our efforts aren't doing anything.
Yeah, and there's something about the end of the world that kind of hopefully would
promotes you to do something.
But it was also realistic, saying, you know, how long do you project humanity had? It's like, well, 30 years. But that's if the nations work together, which they won't. And it's like an acknowledgement of human condition, but also, dang it, if this movie doesn't inspire you to want to do more and live beyond yourself and sacrifice for other people. It's got to be one of the most uplifting, encouraging movies I've seen in a very long time. And again, this was my bread and butter for 2 decades or more, you know, with movies. And then when I've seen a lapse for the past 10 years of movies that don't do this, it's like water in the desert. It's like finding the Garden of Eden. It's like an oasis.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I loved the way that they learned each other's languages, that he was understanding the way that this other creature operated, that he took the time to learn his way of dealing with stuff and his way of learning things, that he was willing to puppeteer because that's just what worked between them. I love that I loved that they learned what each other were comfortable with, especially with the watching each other sleep thing. That was like, it makes me uncomfortable for reasons. It's just like, well, it makes me comfortable for reasons.
Yeah.
And they were willing to get out of their comfort zone to comfort the other.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
It teaches you about real friendship. You know, that you're there for someone and you respect them and you're working with them. And it's just so amazing. I just want to talk about the editing for just a little bit.
The turning of the camera?
No, well, that's cinematography. That's.
Oh, okay.
I appreciated sometimes where they had a frame turning and then the next shot was turning and then the next one finished the turn. Like, that's an elegant way of doing things.
I love that.
But then they had match cuts, like one that was his shoes on the ground and then it cut to his shoes in the spaceship to kind of center you on where he was. But what they would do in the movie is they would intercut where he is in space right now with slow recollections of what his history was. And so we're being told his history while he's piecing it together himself. So you could have told this whole chronologically. I'm sure they shot it that way. But the magic is in the editing because you start getting these little moments that work better if it's a recollection. Or he threw up the ball and then it cut to the next scene, or other things where, you know, he's having this moment and then it cuts to a serious recollection and then it cuts back to him in space and then it's virtually silent. And you just sit with that moment and it's that's magic.
There was a moment where when it went silent, I was like holding my popcorn because I was wanting to put it to my mouth, but I was like
well, it's realizing that that's like a sacred space. It's weird, but it is.
Yeah.
The other thing about the editing is that I gotta find out about this editor because they would take little bits and pieces that you know that they shot randomly from all other things, and he would cut them in such a way with the music that everything sort of had meaning. It's just magic. This is art. This is magic. This is why you go to the movies. This is why movies are important. This is why it's. You cannot get this at home. Like I said, we're privileged enough to watch this in IMAX 70mm on film in like the best movie theater I can, and you just get lost in it, and that's the whole point, you know.
Yeah, it was like you're walking into space.
Yeah.
It really was, because it's practically half your environment. That's how big the screen is. It's ridiculously huge.
But you just feel that way, and that takes you out of your humdrum everyday life, and then you really can sort of sit there with these existential questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What's the meaning behind what I'm doing? Do I care about anybody? He even wrote on his little whiteboard, who would I die for? That was never like fully addressed, but the fact that he put that on there, that whiteboard was his inner monologue that we could see because he's wrestling with it too. And I think that's addressing those questions that we're all, ultimately, who am I? Why am I here? What's my purpose? What would I be willing to lay down my life that's worth more than me clinging to my life? You can't get more human and more spiritual than that. And we end with a great gospel song by Tina Turner. It was all about Jesus. The movie is spiritual. If you woke up...
So we had a malfunction.
We ran out of storage space, oddly enough. So we had to come up with a scientific solution, which is to use
my phone.
The old phone.
Is not great, so sorry for the quality.
It'll be all right.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, the music at the very end just sort of uplifted you. And then we cut to the credits, and after the main credits, which were all, great digital artistry, we cut to the regular credits, which I really love that it said directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, and then it said and then it went to the credits of everybody else who worked on it, which was pretty sweet. And then all of the credits at the end were real space photographs by another science nerd. And so he got kind of his day on that. Oh, that's
so cool.
And the music, I can't get enough of the music. I have to check out the score because it's uplifting, spiritual, and it just elevates you. And then the needle drops, the songs that they had were all perfect and weird stuff that you'd never do. I mean, they had these weird like French songs that just sounded like do-do-do-do as you're going along. And it just, every tone hit right.
Yeah.
And it was multiple tones. This probably really confused executives because it's got very different.
It's so seamless that, again, you've seen it twice, so you're able to pick up on all of them. I was just writing it. I was just having a fun time.
I saw you kind of... because you were having
fun. It was crazy.
Oh, I would love it if this happened more often so we don't have to ever talk about it ironically anymore, because it's just great. And you could bring your family to this. You could bring your kids to this. And believe it or not, even though it's long, it didn't feel long. It felt like you lived
someone else's life for a little while. And that's exactly what movies are supposed to do. You're not supposed to just walk out of a movie going, well, that was made.
Right. That was a thing that I did that I saw that I'm forgetting now.
Yeah, exactly. This is something that's going to stick with you. Yeah. This is something that's going to change a part of you that you hadn't even considered before, because this is human. Human beings are supposed to affect human beings. I actually saw a video about the Amazing Digital Circus.
Okay.
And it was a small scene where a character said,
I had dreams and goals. I wanted to be able to leave my mark somewhere in the world. How am I supposed to just abandon that?
You've made a mark in my life.
The person in the video is pretty much saying, we think that making your mark on the world has to be something that affects the entire world, but sometimes it is just as important to affect one person. And that's exactly what these two characters were doing. They were affecting each other. They cared about each other. They took the time. They made sure that the other was safe. They were alone otherwise, and they never would have gotten this far if they had taken the time for each other. That's exactly what human beings are supposed to do. It's so hard to think about that, because it's like the world is so different right now. People are so disconnected that we don't even consider each other. And this movie is so human that it's just, I really hope it affects enough people's hearts that they want to connect to people again,
It's like wanting a birth out of isolation.
Yeah.
Because we've sort of been conditioned for the past few years.
Yeah.
And then now we've integrated into our lives that if we're not by ourselves, at least we can be on our phone and be alone even though we're around other people. And then when you realize that you need other people, it's just altogether great. I can't praise it enough. It's one of the best sci-fi movies of all time, which is really weird to say about a movie that came out in 2026, but it's true.
Yeah. Like you'd expect something that comes out now to be bad,
right?
Because I've lived where movies suck. You've lived where movies didn't suck.
Yes.
So for you, this is like, oh, I'm breathing air again, and for me, I'm just like, oh, this is what breathing feels like.
Breathing for the first time.
Whoa.
we highly recommend you go see this movie.
Yes,
and,
go see this movie.
See it on the biggest screen possible.
Immediately and with your friends, and then talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, do not wait.
Plan to do that.
Do not wait for any other experience. See it in the theater because it will move you, or at least remind you that you have a soul.
Yeah.
So.
And after this, buy the movie afterward.
Yeah.
So you have it with you, okay? Take this story with you. Don't let it just drift away. This is something that you want to keep with you. And it's something that you want to revisit. Yeah.
I'm X.
And I am Z.
And if you like what we did here or want to help support us, please like, share, and subscribe.
And we have a Patreon too, because we want to make our own film. We want to make a short film, and then we have a documentary we want to work on. I have stories, a bunch of other stuff.
And ultimately, we just want to affect people the way that this movie affected us, but with our own story and our own signature on it.
We want to put our hearts out to you. And if you'll give us the opportunity, we would love to take it. So we'll see you next time.
All right.
Watch Project Hail Mary, and goodbye.
Bye. Please tell me that was recording the whole time.